Everybody, welcome back to Thursday Night Sports Zone. I am your wonderful host, Jake Levine. I'm joined by Gabe Ife and Kendall Keaton. And first off, we're going to be talking about the Texas Rangers and the absolute beatdown they gave the Baltimore Orioles. And the Rangers are now 5-0 in the postseason. Gabe, I got to ask you first, man. How did the Rangers pull off a sweep against a 100-win team in the Orioles?
Bruce Bochy. He made the right moves. Two at least 3 games were decided 3 runs or less. Now, you could say second game, blowout, most of it. He knew who to put in. He knew who to start. The Mitch Garver start in the second game that led to the grand slam. That was electric. Starting Keeney game 1. That is a very, when you're looking at it from the outside, very scary for the Rangers because Keeney had not done particularly amazing. He clutched up. Bochy just pushed all the right buttons, and he got the job done.
Kendall, tell me something. How did the Rangers pull off a sweep against the best team in the American League? I mean, what went wrong for the Orioles? What went right for the Rangers? How did this happen?
They're just a very young team, so they don't have much experience in the playoffs, so they kind of let up, and so hopefully next season they'll find some more experience and get some older players, because they're a young team.
To kind of bounce off that, that's very true. Aaron Hicks was kind of their main source of veteran leadership, and even he, in the 9th inning of the first game, missed a hit and run call, which is ultimately why Jonah Heim was able to throw Gunnar Henderson out. So even when your few veteran players are making mistakes, it's going to be really hard for your younger guys to see that. It's kind of why Corey Seager, the guys like Evan Carter, Josh Young, and both in the Tampa Bay series and Baltimore have been able to look at, Corey Seager, and then, Marcus Semien hasn't been great, but he's always been a pillar of our team. So they've been able to have those veteran guys that have been in there and have that experience.
Yeah, I mean, Evan Carter, let's talk about him, man. I mean, this kid is electric. He came in, we were at his first game together, man. And now he is starting in the playoffs for these Texas Rangers. I mean, Gabe, you're a Rangers fan. Did you expect this?
I did not expect it from him. When I saw that he was called up, I was ecstatic. I was not expecting anything. Being a rookie, these guys typically will play, will surprise some people. But once they get a couple games of a scouting report, it's really tough for the player that's just coming up to make adjustments versus the league that's making adjustments on them. So he's been amazing. He got on, I think, 10 out of his first 12 at-bats, I want to say. And to start off the postseason, he's just been so electric, and it's been amazing to watch.
Yeah, Kendall, I like what you said about the Orioles, how they have youth. And, when those guys, they come up, they're not made for the postseason, but they are made for the regular season, right? So I'm going to ask you, the Orioles, next year they have the same guys. They're a little older now. You think they fare better next year, having the experience from this year, even though they got swept?
For sure. I feel like they will be a little bit better equipped, because they've already been through this and they'll know, the motions they have to go and the different, what's it called?
Different atmosphere.
A different atmosphere, right. And, just make changes to what they did last season and, improve it for.
Yeah, I agree. And let's look ahead. So we've got a Texas two-step showdown. The Houston Astros and the Texas Rangers going up against each other in the ALCS. Games 1 and 2, 6 and 7 going to be in Houston. The middle 3 going to be here in the DFW area. So Astros were 9 and 4 against the Rangers during the regular season. They absolutely dominated them. Kendall, tell me something. How can the Rangers flip the script against these Astros? Altuve, Alvarez. I mean, how are they going to contain them?
Both teams are really well at hitting home runs, so if they can play well in the field, stop the runs and contain Alvarez and Altuve, they should do good.
Yeah, I would say that their strong defense definitely needs to continue. That's been a particularly underrated strength of theirs, I would have to say, as the playoffs have started. I would also say that the bullpen needs to stay going strong. I was reading a stat earlier that in the first 5 games, the bullpen, if you kind of take out that Dunning-Heaney combo and Game 2, I believe, they've given up 3 earned runs in the first 5 games of the postseason. So they're definitely going to have to continue their strong performance. They can't let Jordan, Altuve, Kyle Tucker, Chas McCormick just eat and feast on them. They're really going to have to continue to stay strong. Max Scherzer's coming back, John Gray's coming back. So the pitching's really going to have to keep on going strong and hopefully improve even more.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the Rangers, if they want to get this done, they have the offense, but do they have the pitching? That's the end of the day. They've gotten past the Rays, they've gotten past the Orioles, but, I mean, the Astros, all they've had to play is the Minnesota Twins out of the Central Division, where they finished like 10 games over 500. So, I mean,
I don't know. What I do know is that the state of Texas could be in a civil war soon. It is going to be toxic on the social media, in person. We have some fellow Astros fans at NTTV. It is going to be an interesting time, we shall say. Over
Kendall,
this next
are
week
we
or so.
stoked for it?
Yeah, I am, for sure.
We're stoked for
Texas
the
battle, so.
We're stoked for the Texas two-step showdown. Well, when we come back, we're going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. They're going up against the LA Chargers coming up, so stay right with us.
Registration, please. All right, you're good. No registration, no entry. All right. Let me see your voter registration card, please.
I'm not registered to vote.
No registration, no entry.
Dude, my friends are already in there.
No registration, no entry.
What the?
Join the club. Register to vote today.
Good evening, my name is Amanda Hasbell and I'm joining you here today in the Union Parking Garage. Today we're going to be going over how to drive safely in the parking garage. Let's go see. Oh my god, this girl just got hit by a car. Let's go see what happened. Ma'am, are you okay?
Did you see that lady hit me with a car?
Yeah, we did. I got it all on video.
Oh my god.
Let's go over here and talk about how we can prevent that.
Yeah, not the hospital.
Well, right now we're going to ask you a couple questions on how we can drive safely in the parking lot. What are ways that we can be aware of our surroundings?
Oh, we can look both ways.
Jenna, also, how about putting the distractions away?
Yes, just like our phones, turning our music down, and also not focusing on our passengers.
Where can you get information on how to get a parking pass?
Transportation.unt.edu.
If you park in a garage, make sure you pay on the app or look for further instructions on how you should pay.
And remember, no pass, no park. Let's all try to keep our mean green community safe.
Remember, we're all in this together.
Drive safe.
Welcome back to SportsZone. I'm your host, Jake Levine. I'm joined by Adam C. and Taggart Kent, and we're going to talk about these Dallas Cowboys. And, man, they played a horrible game against the 49ers on prime time. That was pretty bad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Horrible would be an understatement.
Yeah, so, guys, quick thoughts. Why did the Cowboys lose 42-10? Taggart, tell me.
Yeah, well, a lot of people like to point fingers and whatnot, say that it's a Dak issue, it's a defense issue. I'm a firm believer that if you go out there and you get dominated on every phase of the game, it's probably a coaching issue. I know that's super easy, just blame it on the coach when all your players play bad. But you can't go out there for a team that said they were so disappointed and pissed off from last year's win and just get dominated like they did.
And they're still talking trash.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know how you talk trash after losing 41-10. Laugh now, cry later, that's a joke. But the thing is, you saw 2 different tiers of teams on Sunday night. You saw a good team in Dallas. They can win maybe 65-70% of the games, and then you see an elite team of the 49ers that you will have to work hard to beat, even on a bad day for them. Like, thing is, let's not mince words. We got obliterated. We looked awful. Right. And defense looked terrible, and it can't just be us losing Diggs that makes us that bad. No, we have to get better.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, the Cowboys, they didn't show up, straight up. And so now they've got a game against the LA Chargers coming up, right? And the Chargers allow over 100 yards per game more than the Dallas Cowboys do. So, guys, tell me, how can they take advantage of the Chargers' poor defense? Adam, let me know.
So to me, the thing is, Chargers have the worst passing defense statistically. They give up over 100 rushing yards a game. Hit them on all facets because I don't see why you wouldn't, you know. Tony Pollard, they didn't give him much of a chance last week because he fumbled. Use Tony Pollard. Maybe throw deep. Don't throw 3-yard slants 24/7. Stop playing conservative because that's your problem. Kevontae Turpin got a great touchdown, and then we never went deep again because we're conservative.
Taggart, tell me what they got to do.
I mean, I don't know how to follow that one up. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff he's saying is true. I'm tired of watching this team the past few weeks when I look on all 22 and just seeing 3 quick slants and a flat route from the tight end. It's really annoying. I thought Kellen Moore was abysmal with his curl routes, and somehow Mike McCarthy managed to top it with how terrible his slant routes are. It's really tough going against a team like the Chargers, who are going to score a lot of points, when it seems like us, especially in the red zone, scoring points is not, our strong suit. I would like to see the offense air the ball out a little more, like he said, and don't abandon the run. It feels like halfway through the second quarter, and I know Pollard fumbled, but you kind of just abandoned it completely.
Mm-hmm.
And for a team that, like Mike McCarthy said before the season, wants to control the clock, you can't just abandon the run, not even halfway through the game. That's not a winning formula.
No, I definitely agree with you. I mean, you got to balance the run, the pass. You can't just rely on Dak, who's not even had that good a season so far, right? I mean, mediocre at best.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to sit here and just blame Dak Prescott. I'm Dak's biggest supporter, and even I want to sit here and I don't want to defend him, because what he did on Sunday after talking about how much the loss pissed him off and talking to that one media member saying to stop bringing it up, you can't come out flat like he did. Right. And watching the All-22, it wasn't all Dak's fault. I'm not going to sit here and all of a sudden say Dak's a bad quarterback, but he's got to be better, plain and simple. I can't sit here and support him after the performance that he just put out.
I agree with you. I mean, and so this game is going to be on prime time yet again, and the Cowboys just lost on prime time, but they do have a win on prime time against the Giants. Now that was 40-0, and the only problem with that is the Giants have turned out to be a terrible football team. So, if the Cowboys come back and win against the Chargers Monday Night Football, what kind of momentum does this give them, winning and showing people on the national stage? Yeah, we can be a pretty good team in the Chargers. Adam, what do you think?
I don't think prime time is the issue. We just faced an elite team and straight up got cooked, all things considered. And the keys to winning this week, you need to have short-term memory, all right? Don't focus on last week. Last week sucked. Don't focus on last week. Lock in and focus on the task at hand. Don't bother getting on Twitter and talk about laugh now, cry later. It doesn't matter, because just go in, win the game.
We need you in the locker room. I think you need to give him a speech.
I don't think I need to be in the locker room. I'm not a good speaker.
You need to be on the field. That's right.
No, I shouldn't. I'm unathletic.
Tiger, what does a primetime win mean for this team potentially?
Yeah, I think it's similar to any win. I don't think primetime really changes it at all. This is a team that we know they're good. This is a good football team. What this would show me this week is that you can beat teams in January, because last week I'm starting to question whether they can do that. Mm-hmm. We've seen them be able to do it in the past, like last year we put 40 on Philadelphia, who at the time had the best defense in the league. Obviously it didn't end that way, partly because we whooped them. That's besides the point. But coming off of a loss like that, getting a good win against a Chargers team that is good, obviously their defense is terrible, but that offense can still score with the best of them. It's going to be good for momentum. And I want to give a shout out to Deion Sanders, who said something on a podcast earlier this week. If the Cowboys want to win these games, you need the dogs. When you looked at the 49ers, they got dogs that went out to perform. Javon Hargrave had a great game. Charvarius Ward was locking up CeeDee Lamb. For the Cowboys, you have players that are dogs, or supposed to be. Your Micah Parsons, your Jaron Kearse, your Donovan Wilson. On the offense, your Tony Pollards, your Zach Martins. And for some reason, against good teams, they seem to disappear. And when you're talking about a team that wants to win in January, they can't just disappear like that. You need those guys, your tone setters, to go out there and play well.
I agree with you. I mean, this is going to be a pretty hard-fought game, I think. It'll be closer than we expect. Chargers solid team. Chargers are going to be at home. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, when we come back, we're going to talk about the North Texas Mean Green. They've got a game coming up this Saturday, so stay right with us.
That was a really good movie. Yeah, I really liked it. Yeah, so we have to watch the next one before next class, right?
We do?
I think so, but it's not on Netflix and it's not on Hulu, so...
Man, I don't want to pay for that.
So what do we do?
You think there's a place we could go to get the movie?
I'm not sure, maybe?
Oh, there's a place to get the movie.
Oh?
Really?
Yeah, it's right here on campus. Come on, I'll show you.
Live from UNT, it's Wheel of Culture.
Welcome back to Wheel of Culture. Our contestant is so close to solving this puzzle. But first, it's time to give the wheel a spin. Wow, you landed on London, one of the many places where you and your fellow students can go on a chance to experience new culture. But only if you can solve this puzzle.
I'd like to solve the puzzle. Study abroad.
That's correct. You just won yourself a trip to study abroad in London, England, and you can too. Just go to studyabroad.unt.edu to see deadlines and apply for scholarships. Get ready to study abroad.
Welcome back to Thursday Night Sports Zone. I'm your host, Jake Levine. I'm joined by Kenzie Neely and Jose Moreno. And we're going to talk about the UNT football game coming up this Saturday. It's going to be Oktoberfest themed. It's 11 a.m. on ESPNU. That'll be such a good game time. But I want to get our quick thoughts about the Navy game where we lost 27-24. Kenzie, what went wrong for UNT?
It's just, once again, the defense. The defense is the hardest thing to get with UNT. So we aren't good defensively. It's hard for us defensively. And that's going to be our hardest thing to get to whenever we come to going against our next team, which is Temple. So I think that's the biggest thing. And also, but Chandler, like, our offense was great. We proved to be great again offensively. Like, Chandler Rogers did great this year, or this season. But, yeah.
I got to agree with her. Honestly, our defense has not really been playing to its best ability. I mean, we are 6 games in a row right now where we have actually blown our lead in the second half. We're not a second half team, and that's been our biggest problem since I've been going to school here, actually. Ever since Mason Fine has left the school, UNT has lost 10+ games in the second half. I mean, it is a record like no other. This team has had this issue with both Latrell and with Eric Morris, and I think that problem kind of becomes with us focusing more on offense and trying to be an offensive team because we're still chasing the highs of that 2018 season.
We do miss it dearly, don't we?
Yeah. We do, man.
Well, this is going to be the first home conference game for UNT, and it's 11 a.m. kick, which is not something we've really seen before in Conference USA. I mean, it's kind of strange starting a game at 11 a.m. We're going to have the solar eclipse during the game, too. So what does this kind of 11 a.m. kick mean for these teams? You got to get up and going at 6 a.m. in the morning. Jose, what do you think this means?
I mean, I don't think it really means much. These guys have been playing football since kindergarten. I mean, you don't think they ever played football early in the morning in high school, middle school, or in college? Night, day, morning, dawn, heck, 4 a.m. These boys can play football at any moment if they need to. I mean, come on, 11 a.m. I can wake up and go drive around the neighborhood at 11 a.m. Of course these guys can go do something.
Because that's so much harder than playing football.
Hey, man, I think if we can get out of bed and go to work and do physical things at 11 a.m., what stops these peak athletes from being able to play a game of sport, you know?
Kenzie, what do you think?
I think the same. Like, he brought out all the same things, and the one of the things I was going to speak on is the solar eclipse happening during our game. It happens at 12 p.m. 12 p.m. Yeah. It happens at 12 p.m. So it's going to happen then, and like UNT's even giving out glasses for this. Like, they're going to make sure that everybody's prepared for the solar eclipse. It's going to be a cool time. So if anything, I think more crowds and more people are going to come to the game, and it's going to make things a little bit more fun. I don't know.
Imagine the photo opportunity there.
I know.
I'm sure every photographer is going to be there, like in the Denton County area.
Every influencer is going to be like there.
But you got to think, like, they just, like, they're going to be playing a football game, but you can't look up at the sun? Like, I don't know.
Just for 3 minutes. Just for 3 minutes.
Right.
It's 3 minutes.
And then just pause the game or something.
And in those 3 minutes, UNT will let in 4 touchdowns because,
we're
blinded by the sun, we can't play.
Everybody looking at the sun, right. So Temple is 2-4, and they're 0-2 in the conference already. Both their wins were Akron and Norfolk State, so they don't really mean anything. So should we feel confident about winning this football game? Kenzie, what do you think?
We have to feel confident about winning this football game. I mean, there's no other option for us at this point. We have to go into this game wanting to win, or there's no option for us to go any further in the conference and make it into like the conference, like the final thing. So if we don't have this confidence going into the game, then there's not much luck for us elsewhere, because we cannot continue to lose games and just hope that maybe we'll get there. No, we have to make sure that we assert our dominance. We have our defense getting better. We show that our offense can get better. So we have to make sure we continue to do that throughout the season.
Jose, should UNT feel confident?
We have an important game against Memphis coming up in October, and I think this is a game where we have to instill confidence. We just came out of a bad loss in Navy where we barely lost in that fourth quarter. I mean, barely. They scored in the 7th minute, and we just froze like some idiots. But truly, I think this is a game that it's like a bounce back game. It's a rebound game. You know, Temple is a team that a team of blind players could beat any given Saturday. I hope to God our team can do as well. I think the only thing we should be fearing is that Temple offense. I was talking with her in the lobby a little bit earlier. She mentioned that the son of Kurt Warner is the quarterback for this team, and that's
no way.
Yeah, that's her stat, not mine. I'm not taking credit for that.
EJ Warner, which is the quarterback for Temple, he's the son of Kurt Warner, the Hall of Famer NFL player.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess the only great thing about Temple right now is the QB. That's playing.
Kurt Warner's kid throwing the ball. I mean, what can go worse? So UNT, I mean, we've got an offense that's pretty potent, right? Temple's got a pretty bad defense.
Mm-hmm.
So, real quick, Jose, how do you think UNT can capitalize on Temple's really bad defense?
I think our running game has actually finally picked up with I forget his name, but Ayude, yeah, he has been playing on an excellent level, hitting over 100 yards these past 2 games. Get into a level that he hasn't been to so far early in the season. I think with every game he's getting better. He's getting like a lot more experience than he did earlier, and he's been playing incredibly well. Kind of just been like one of the few bright spots on this team, and as well as we need to really work on our time management as well. That's one of the biggest, most important things with this team. And yeah, as long as we do time management, use the running game correctly, and Rodgers plays to his ability, I think this is an easy game to win. Truly.
Absolutely. I definitely got to agree. Well, when we come back, we're going to be ranking some sports stadiums. I mean, we'll give it a shot. So stay right with us. Welcome back to SportsZone. I'm your host, Jake Levine. I've got Matthew Watson and Jalen Bullock with me, and we're going to talk about some of our favorite and least favorite stadiums in sports right now. Matthew, I want you to tell me, man, what's your favorite NFL stadium?
My favorite NFL stadium is SoFi. It's brand new. That's kind of cheating, picking a brand new stadium, but I mean, it's beautiful. Like, you look at that stadium, you look at the TV screen that goes all the way around for everybody to see. No matter where you are, you have a good seat in the house. So that's a good stadium. It's open seating. It's got the feng shui concept where the outside is just all open and they can close it like a garage door if they want to. It just looks sick. I would like to go there one time.
Jalen Bullock, what's your favorite NFL stadium, man?
Going across the country, I'm going to go with the older stadium in Lambeau Field.
You went with history.
Just who doesn't love the Cheeseheads is really what it comes down to. Just a great environment to be in. When I was choosing these stadiums, I want to play into like not just the sports going on, but the stadium as a whole. And the Lambeau Field is just a great environment. You know, great football, of course, on the field, but just a great environment.
I got to agree with you, and I actually chose Lambeau as well. I mean,
Dang.
the atmosphere is amazing there. I'm pretty sure like the fans own the team and
Yeah,
they
they
own
do.
the stadium. You know, it's city owned. So
Green
like
Bay
I
Packers.
love how that works. The fans there are just amazing. And even when the Packers are bad, they're there and they're going crazy there. There's no upper deck there. You gotta love it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a college stadium.
It's just cold, so.
It is cold. Yeah, it is cold, but it doesn't get cold here, so we don't really care.
Yeah.
So, Matthew Watson, what's your least favorite NFL stadium?
My least favorite NFL stadium, me and Jalen both agreed on it, and I'm assuming you agreed on this. It's FedEx.
Yeah.
That place
We
is a
should talk about
dump.
that.
That place is garbage.
Yeah.
Utter garbage. Like, it's garbage is garbage.
They got like feces like
Yeah,
leaking on
yeah.
people out of the pipes too.
Yeah.
Jalen, why is? I mean, we
You
can all
spoke
agree
on
here.
it, week 1, and the just sewage pipe breaks. And
Yeah.
I was, you know, once you hear about it, it's like there's no way that really happened. And then last season, of course, against the Eagles, the like what section we fell.
Yeah.
And it's just like the whole place is a safety hazard, and it doesn't help, you know. The Commanders aren't the greatest team, so
Right.
like people aren't going there to begin with. But then when this is the capital, and the stadium is in such poor condition,
Right.
and there's nothing good to say about FedEx.
I got,
It's a dump.
there's like nothing good.
It's
there.
a dump.
Like yeah. All right, so now we're gonna go to the MLB. Matthew Watson, what is your favorite MLB stadium?
So I went with Oracle Park in
Oh,
San Francisco.
wow.
I just love the bottle, the Coca-Cola bottle, the glove, the brick, and then I just keep imagining Barry Bonds just jacking home runs into the water over there. And so it just screams baseball to me. Like, I feel like any young kid goes to that stadium and there's a moment there, they're going to remember it for the rest of their lives because of that stadium.
That's a really cool take, actually. Jalen, what do you think?
Staying right there in California, I'm going to go with Dodger Stadium.
That's another
All
one
right?
that I agree with.
Just the amount of legends that have
Yeah.
played there, you know. And I have had the honor of going to a game there, and I was a little kid, one of those little kids that went there. And I even was on the TV, and I'll never forget that experience, you know.
That's awesome.
And it's just like LA vibes, you know, when you're going to a Dodgers game. Of course, great, you know. They get eliminated, a little bummed out about that.
Right.
But great, you know, for the most part, great balls being played there, and just a great experience. The hot dogs are a little iffy, if I'm being completely
Really?
honest.
The Dodger
Yeah.
dogs are
I don't like them. I don't like
Wow.
them. But
That's a hot take.
Yeah, that is a hot take. But it's just an overall great experience. And it's just like, this is baseball. This is California baseball.
Right, yeah. No, I mean, I could agree with that, but I'm shocked that nobody said Fenway or Wrigley.
It was on
I
the
love
list.
Wrigley,
It was
and
on
I
the
I'm
love
going
Fenway.
with Fenway, man. I mean, that place looks awesome. They survived like 3 fires there. They got the Green Monster. It's right up next to the city. I mean, what more could you ask from a
Yeah,
stadium?
the seats are just awful there.
They are
They're still
awful.
stadium seats, you know.
That is very true. All right, real quick, no explanation. Worst MLB stadium.
Tropicana Field,
I second
obviously.
that.
Tropicana. Tropicana Field sucks. You heard it from all of us. And they're actually building a new stadium.
Yeah, the fish don't
though
even want to play at
I
Tropicana.
don't know that will do very much. But
No, they only have a group of people going to the game.
right. They had like the worst postseason crowd.
It was like a field trip of kids.
Well, thank you so much for tuning into Sports Zone. Go watch Nightly News over there. That's going to start in about 2 minutes. Follow us on socials, NTTV_sports. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. Go Mean Green.